Coming up in this video, we return to one of our favourite spots camping on the River Murray, and that's Hogwash Bend, and there we watched some beautiful golden hours in the late afternoon. We watched the morning mist on the river, and then we move on to Nuriootpa, where we spend 3 nights in the Barossa Valley. While in Nuriootpa, we try a beer paddle. We take a drive out to Angeron, and there Sally has a look at one of the craft shops, and I take a walk along the streets. On our way back, we go to Tanunda and we go to the chocolate factory. All that and more in our 5-night getaway. I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s. And more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. If you like the following video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Originally this trip was only going to be a 3-night getaway up into Nuriootpa, but we thought why not go to Hogwash Bend and make it a 5-night getaway, so that's what we've done. So it was an easy drive, and we were soon at Hogwash Bend on the River Murray here in South Australia. The signpost here at the turn to go down to the river is no longer there, saying that Hogwash Bend is this way. For some reason after the floods it has been removed, and the actual cause of that to be removed, we're not quite sure. It's now approximately 12 months since the river flooded, and with pool level now on the river, before long the area here at Hogwash Bend will start to dry out, and we'll be able to get down onto the beach part and camp there rather than camping up on the bank. G'day everyone, and welcome to another video, and this time we're at Hogwash Bend this morning. We've only just arrived, it's just before lunch on the Saturday morning, and here for 2 nights. And quite surprised when we got here that the river's down so low. We have been back here on the odd occasion just recently without the van and had a look, and the water's been up high and covered all the sandbank, but very nice today, down where it should be, and we're just going to enjoy our time here. Even though we were set up on the top area at Hogwash Bend, it still gives us that river view with the water view, and that's what it's all about. Most of the beach area is no longer covered in water, but it's still very saturated ground, and when you walk on it you can feel it's being spongy underfoot. So I would imagine it would be months before you'd be able to take anything heavy in the way of a big caravan down on there. Otherwise for sure you'd get stuck, and that's where you'd stay. There are some very large trees that have fallen over during the flood, and I'm not quite sure whether it's white ants, possibly white ants that have got into them, but people have been cutting into them and I guess using them for firewood. I don't quite know, but eventually they'll be gone, and hopefully the big part of the trunk, the council or whoever's responsible for the land may remove them, and that'll bring it back to the open state that it normally is in, and allow for plenty of camping. Hogwash Bend is currently a free camping area, and it is great for relaxation, and that's basically what we did during our 2 nights here, and we just sat around and watched the water go down, and of course it gave Sally plenty of opportunity and time to continue on with her craft work. There were plenty of kookaburras about on this trip, and they weren't slow in coming close to us, and I think possibly looking for something to eat. Come daybreak and early morning, when we were at Hogwash Bend on this trip, they soon let us know they were about, and once that light come in, they started laughing from the trees everywhere around us. In the past, when we've been at Hogwash Bend, we've seen some very beautiful sunrises as well as that sunsets, but we didn't get very many of those on this trip, but we did get a little bit of the golden hour on that late afternoon, early evening hour. The number of campers that were here on this trip were possibly down on what we would normally expect to see, but That may very well be because everyone's still expecting it to be a little bit damp underfoot, which of course it was, and with everyone being required to camp up on the top where we were, perhaps that was a little bit of a deterrent for some to come here. The sunsets were nothing spectacular on this trip, but still nice to see it shining through the trees like it was. Yeah, g'day everyone. I thought I'd just break in here on the video and let you know what we've done with our tow vehicle. When we were coming back on our last trip from the Flinders Ranges, we thought we'd put the Colorado and the caravan over the weighbridge, just on the assumption to see where we were with the weights. We had very little water in the caravan and less than half a fuel tank in the Colorado, so we should have been lighter than what we normally would, but it was a good opportunity just to see where we stood with weights on a typical run down the road, because as I say, we were nearly home and we should have been lighter than what we would be when we would normally head out away from home on that first day of a holiday. So we put it over the weighbridge, and it was a bit of a surprise. We were way over our gross combination mass, so that was the end of the Colorado for insurance reasons and everything else, and safety for everyone on the road should anything unforeseen happen. So we're now towing with a Toyota 200 series Land Cruiser, and you would have already seen that in this video, so you may have wondered what was going on, but that's where we are now. We've had a GCM and a GVM upgrade done on the Land Cruiser, and that puts us well and truly within our weight limits, and everything's covered. As I said, should anything unforeseen happen on the road, it's always nice to know that when those nasty things do happen, that everything's covered and you've got your insurance and everything else that goes with it. So yes, from now on we'll be towing in the Land Cruiser. Unfortunately, we didn't want to lose the Colorado, but from a legal point of view we had no choice. So now I'll just return back to our video up here at Hogwash Bend. We woke on our first morning to this mist on the river, something that's a little bit difficult to capture on the camera, but certainly very pretty to see when you're there. To see this mist on the water like it is, and the reflections of the river itself, it's so calming. It's just something that you got to be there to be able to feel and to experience for yourself, and you almost think that it makes the trip worthwhile. When you look back at the floods that the River Murray went through 12 months ago, and you sit in an area somewhere like Hogwash Bend and you look around and you almost think it's impossible for so much water to be about to cover the area like it did when it was flooded. It's just hard to fathom the amount of water that would have come down to create such a depth, and the flooding effect that took it up to where we were sitting would have been at the moment underwater. Floodings along any river and natural waterways is nature, and we're just thankful that when nature has done its business, that we've got locations like this to sit back and enjoy. Even in a single day that we've got like today, where we've got the water is glassed off like it is with so many reflections, when the wind comes up and it starts to ripple and all those reflections are gone, it's like a different day. Yeah, good morning everyone. A beautiful day again here at Hogwash Bend, nice and bright and early in the morning, and just starting to lose the real calmness on the water and the getting a few ripples on it. But we leave here today, unfortunately. It's been a good couple of nights here and 2 perfect mornings, but heading out this morning once we get organised, not in a big rush, and then we make our way over to Nuriootpa on our way home and meet someone there for their first outing in their caravan, and there for 3 nights. So we'll catch you in Nuri. With only 113 kilometres to travel for the day and our check-in time at Nuriootpa Caravan Park being midday, we had plenty of time to pack up before we had to set sail on the road. As we leave Hogwash Bend, it's a bit of a blind corner this one when you come out onto the main bitumen, but with a bit of time and care and patience it's easily navigated. From Hogwash Bend we make our way towards Morgan, and then from Morgan we do that left hand turn and head towards Blanchetown, which brings us out here on the main Riverland Road from Adelaide through to Mildura, and we do a right hand turn and start to make our way across to Blanchetown, and before long we're soon in Nuriootpa. G'day everyone, and we've arrived here at Nuriootpa. Sally and I are pretty well all set up. We haven't got the awning out yet. We'll play that one by ear when Dion and Sam and the kids get here, and once we work out how they're going to set theirs up, then we'll work out what we're going to do. So we'll have a quick bite to eat for lunch now and just wait for the others to arrive. So we'll catch you later. For our group here at Nuriootpa for our 3 nights, there was 2 caravans, and when you put them in the sites like they are now with both awnings out, there's not much room between each awning, and if you were camping alongside people that you didn't know, that really leaves a little bit to be undesired, but never mind, certainly enjoyed our time there. Once you get through the boom gate here and go into the caravan park, you're greeted with lawn and more lawn, and it's well maintained and looked after lawn. It was certainly a credit to the caravan park and the way that they maintain the grounds. There are some gravel caravan and camping sites available if anyone would desire those over the lawn site, but as I say, the majority of the area is green lawn. When you enter into the caravan park after first going through the boom gate, you've got this green lawned area here on your right hand side when you go in, and that offers pad sites, and it's not your normal terraced off roadway type camping area, but very nice indeed. For our stay here on this trip, we had drive-through grass sites, and that was in the typical format that you see here with the roadway down the middle, not like the section that was on the right hand side as you come through that boom gate that was previously shown. Scattered within the park is a lot of trees, and of course that offers very good shade. It would be fair to say that most of the sites here within the park are nice and level. There's not too many caravans that we spotted that had wheel levelling chocks under the wheel to get a nice level on their van. There are a number of these premium ensuite sites available, and as well as that, standard ensuite sites were also available further into the park. Throughout various locations within the park, there were a number of undercover barbecues for patrons to use. There are 2 dump points within the park, and I guess that illustrates the size of this caravan park. Now, being December, I don't think you'd need them, but there are a number of communal fire pits located throughout the park. Located within the centre of the park is the games room, and alongside the games room is the swimming pool, and we had a bit of a mixed bag season-wise with the weather, and the first day it was very hot and we were in the pool. The second day was a little bit cooler, but for those that really love the water, they made the most of the pool on each day. Also located centrally within the park is the kids' playground, and there's a number of items there. They've got the table tennis here and the chess piece, and as well as that, they've got your typical playground. There are enough different sort of items within the playground that I think most kids should be able to find something to keep themselves amused. They've even got the flying fox. If you want to get the blood circulating pretty quick within the body and make the brain go a little bit fuzzy, get the grandkids on one of these and start spinning around. As a caravaner, when we visit caravan parks, we always look at the way that the cabins are laid out, and I guess in the back of our minds is we're also checking to see if cabins are starting to eliminate some of the caravanning sites, but this caravan park has got an array of cabins available, and for all sorts of budgets, no doubt, and they're placed within the caravan park that they actually blends in with everything else that's there, and they're not pushing out the caravanners. As we look at some of the park from the air, it's easily seen how clean and green the area is. While we're in Nuriootpa, we thought we'd go out to the Stein's Tap House and sample one of their beer paddles. These were a little bit different in the way that they do it. They don't brew their own, from what I could work out. They on-sell brews from other breweries, and that's the list there that you could put together to make up your own paddle. From the 4 that I had on my paddle, the best one that I had is the one that I'm actually drinking now, which is on my left, and the right of the screen as you're looking at it, and that one was called Hard Lemonade, and I think that one would really be nice on a real hot day and when it was chilled. On our last day we took the very short drive out to Angeron, and it was there that Sally wanted to have a look at a quilting shop. By the time that Sally was in the quilting shop, that gave me an opportunity to have a look at some of the sites along the main street of Angeron. The statue here of the Clydesdale horse commemorates the horse's achievements and the way in which they assisted in the clearing and the development of the area around Angeron back in the early days, and also how they were used to sow and reap the crops. It's always nice to walk down the street of these older country towns, and some of the Barossa ones are very nice indeed with all their old buildings. Is it me, or do others feel the same, that a natural shade as we've got here always seems cooler than something that was man-made with a tin sheet that throws shade down onto the ground? It's early morning on the Wednesday, and midweek of course, not a lot of traffic around, but nothing to be annoyed about there. Certainly makes it easy for walking and travelling around the town. From Angeron we headed back and then on to the town of Tanunda, where we visited the chocolate factory. The variety and the amount of chocolate that is available here to purchase is absolutely mind-blowing, but then you wouldn't expect anything less from a chocolate factory. And here you can look through the glass window and actually see the chocolate being made. As you walk around marvelling at all the selection of chocolates that you can purchase, it's worth stopping here and looking through the window as we are now, and having a look at some of the workers preparing and making some of the chocolates that you're about to buy. When visiting the chocolate factory, you can also have sit-down meals here in their dining room. There's a ice creamery that you can buy ice cream from, and as well as that, there are cellar door sales for wine. The outside water feature allows you to sit down at your table and enjoy the meal that you've purchased while you sample some of the great wines on offer, or even if you want to sit there and enjoy the chocolates that you purchased earlier. Just on the outside of the cellar door sales there is a lawned area, and this allows you to sit at these tables and enjoy the country views as you're drinking your wine. The chocolate factory visitors car park is quite large, and there's plenty of room there to park your caravan should you be passing through for the day only, and it's from there that we made our way back to the caravan park at Nuriootpa. Good morning everyone, and this brings the end to our 5-night getaway. We're in Nuriootpa, of course, and beautiful part of the Barossa Valley here in South Australia. Now, by the time this video goes live on our channel, Christmas would have been and gone, so we hope that everyone's had a great Christmas and you're all looking forward to what the new year's going to bring you. So until that next video goes up, you take care and look after yourself. If you like the video that you just watched, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of our videos, click on the subscribe button, and once you've done that, change the bell notification to all. That way every time that we do uploads to our YouTube channel, you'll be notified.